What is up, guys? Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to talk about what I think is literally the best camera strap available. Camera strap is called the Peak Design Slide, and the brand is Peak Design, and they call it the Slide, and we'll get into why they call it that. But before I get into all the details about the camera strap itself, I just wanted to show you guys what comes with it in the box, because even though I've already had this thing set up on my camera, I did keep the box just to show you guys like what came with it and what it looks like. Here's the box that it came in, and it's pretty nice. I mean, it's just like cardboard, but as you can tell, that part's magnetic, which is just a cool little feature. But when you open it up, you would see the camera strap folded here, and then it talks about some of the features about it, which we'll get into in a second. But behind the strap is this pouch. Inside the pouch, it comes with 4 of the anchors, which are the little dangly things that you use to attach it to the actual camera. And then it comes with this metal attachment to go on the bottom of your camera if you want to use this instead of like your tripod mount or something like that. But I didn't really need to use this because I'll show you why. So yeah, this came with 4. 2 of them I put on my camera, and I already had 2 previously that I use on my other camera. So this is all extra for me. Oh, and it comes with a little Peak Design sticker. So the way that this camera strap actually attaches to the camera is part of what makes this so cool and convenient. But you attach the anchors to your camera. You can attach them to these little loops, or I'll show you how I actually attach it later on my full frame camera. But anyways, once you attach the anchors, you literally just click these in. You just line them up and pull, and now it's super strong on there with this cordage. Obviously that's super convenient because you can attach it and remove it super easily. I mean, look, I can do this with one hand. But lots of times if you're taking pictures, you know, sometimes your camera strap might get in the way, or you just don't feel like wearing it at the time and you want to put it in your bag. And so you can literally just pop them off like this and then put this away, you know, shoot however you want, get low to the ground, do whatever you got to do, and then you just pop them back on and you're good to go. And speaking of convenience, part of what makes this thing like even more customizable and just more fun to use is the fact that you can super quickly like adjust the length of the strap, and that's why they call it the Slide, because these 2 levers allow you to slide it to make it longer and shorter. So literally all you would do is you would lift up on this, and then you can just kind of pull out, and you can see it's making it tighter to my body. Or if you go down all the way, it makes it longer. So obviously that's super convenient, because if you want to, say you're done shooting and you just kind of want to walk around, you can pull it and make it much tighter. And then when you push down on this, that kind of locks it. And now you can have it closer to your body and just be walking around. That way it's not like super low down by your hip, bumping around. So you can kind of just pull it up like that. And then obviously you can adjust both straps. So I could adjust this strap as well, make it a little tighter. But then this would be too tight if I was shooting, and so I would have to loosen it again. So again, I would just grab this, loosen it up, and it's good because you can create the perfect amount of tension, because if you're trying to take video and you want to kind of stabilize yourself, because say you don't have a lens with stabilization or something like that, you can stabilize the camera by using the camera strap by kind of pushing up against, like pushing it away from your body. And by being able to adjust the strap, it just helps you do that easier, because instead of you just trying to push it whatever length the strap is, you adjust the strap to like what length is comfortable for you. And then you can stay locked in with that tension and pan super smoothly. So that's just a trick that helps you get smooth footage, and this camera strap just helps make that trick easier. Now, as for the quality of the strap, obviously it's good, because I wouldn't have paid, you know, a decent price for a camera strap if I didn't think it was really good quality. Plus everything that Peak Design makes is like top notch. And this material is like a seatbelt material, so obviously you know it's gonna be sturdy. I mean, seatbelts are meant to hold you in a car accident, so this thing can definitely hold a camera, even if it's like a heavier full frame camera, which is what I bought it for, because I bought it for my A7 IV, not for this camera, which is the A6600. But yeah, so it's just nice to know this thing is sturdy, and you can tell, I mean, everything about it is just high quality. The stitching on here, you don't have any like loose threads or anything like that. And the padding on this thing is not super thick, but it is super comfortable. Another nice thing is the fact that it's like set in place, because sometimes you'll get padding inside a camera strap that like over time kind of like moves on the inside of the strap and ends up like in a different spot. But this one's set in place, so it's not gonna move on you. It's always gonna be right there. And then a small thing that they added to the back of the padding, which a lot of people wouldn't have thought to do, but it actually is like a really cool feature, is on the back they put the logo, but they put all this texture. It's like a silicone texture on here. And the reason that that's really cool is because if you just have this hanging, say you wanted to hang it off of one shoulder, well, it might slide off your shoulder because it's seatbelt material, or even if it was a different material, you know, it can just slide off, especially if you're wearing like a slippery jacket. But this texture that they put on the back of there, you can basically just flip it, and now you have this grip that is not gonna allow it to move or like slide off your shoulder, because it's like a silicone grip, and obviously that's gonna like grip onto clothing really well. Now they also make a slide light, which is basically just a slightly smaller version of the slide. It's still the same length, you know, max length and minimum length, and it still adjusts and everything's the same, but except it doesn't have the padding, and then the straps are a little bit narrower, so they're not quite as wide. And that could be good if you just want a smaller setup, or you just think this is too big. Not that this thing is heavy by any means, but I mean, for that camera that I was just demonstrating on, the A6600, I might get the slide light in the future, but I wanted to get this one first to see if I really like it. Plus I wanted like a good camera strap for the A7 IV when I bought that. And so now that I know that I really do like it, I probably will get a slide light in the future for my A6600. And they also have different colors. I just went with like the red and black because it kind of matches the A7 IV. I don't know, I just like it. It just kind of goes with me. But they make a cool blue one, like a navy blue. And it has like, I think it has like a leather right here instead of this black. But anyways, you guys can check them out. I think they're really cool, and I was really tempted to get the green one, but again, I'm an all black type of guy, so I had to go with the red and black. Last but not least, I want to talk about how I specifically set mine up on my A7 IV that I'm recording on right now, and why I set it up how I do. So on this one, my A6600, I did mention I've got it set up right here on the side. The anchors are just dangling down. So you can see that when you have the camera straps coming in from the side, it can kind of get in your way. And luckily on the A6600, the screen faces forward, like if I'm, you know, looking down at it or something like that. But on the A7 IV and a lot of the newer full frame cameras, the screen comes out to the side, which is better overall. It's much better because you can flip it all the way forward and stuff like that. But the strap kind of gets in the way when you have like the screen out to the side. Plus, if you're shooting vertically, sometimes the camera strap gets in the way of like the viewfinder or your face or whatever. So once again, you can work around it. I've always worked around it. It's not a big deal. But when I got this one on my A7 IV, I wanted to set it up differently. So what I did, I took the anchors and I attached them to the dual plate, because I use this Peak Design dual plate, which allows it to attach to like Manfrotto tripod mounts, as well as like the Peak Design one. I forgot what it's called, but anyways, it's called the dual mounting plate. And so I use this on my A7 IV as well. And on the back corners of the plate, there's actually a metal loop, and you can loop the anchors through that, and it won't get in the way when you go to set this on your tripod, because it's like set right above that. So it'll still work completely fine on your mounts, and you basically attach it from the bottom. And then it's nice because you have nothing coming in from the side on the top. Everything's just coming in from the bottom. And so you can grab it without any camera straps being in your way, without these dangly things, because they're just hanging from the bottom. So then it's not in your way when you shoot like this, because the camera strap is coming in from the side, and you know, obviously you're shooting like this. So it's really just a lot more convenient, and it's just less of an obstruction overall. And then another little small advantage of setting it up from the bottom like that is when you're walking around with your camera and it's hanging down low, when you have it set up from up top, it tends to like poke out more. And when you have it attached to the bottom, it tends to like point the lens downward, and then you can like walk around without something sticking out as much. And then, I mean, it's just kind of safer for your camera, because if you're inside of a business somewhere and you're walking around, there's less chance that you're gonna bump it on something if it's not sticking straight out versus it just hanging downward. So those are just a few of the advantages and reasons as to why I attach it from the bottom now, and why I'll probably switch this one to do the same. And with that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. And if you got anything out of it, or if it was like helpful in any way, definitely hit the like button. It's like a super simple thing that you can do. It takes you 1 second. It actually makes a big difference to my channel, so I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe if you like any kind of like camera related videos. I've done tons of like lens reviews and camera backpack reviews, even drone related stuff. So if you like that, definitely subscribe. And thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.